This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, we review Season 1 of Marvel's Secret Invasion. Plus, Sony flinches first and shuffles their upcoming release schedule amid the Hollywood strikes. Loki Season 2 gets its first trailer. Barbenheimer continues hot at the box office, and more. All in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, July 31st, 2023.
This is Jason Mewes, and for reasons best left between you and your therapist, you're listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Snooch to the nooch. Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up.
Jock it, we heard it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we heard it.
Well, hello, listener. Thanks for pressing play. Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's a nerd.
And joining us, our very own Super Skrull. He has the combined powers of all the Muppets and all those felties on Sesame Street. It's Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
What's up, motherfuckers?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
You still drunk? You hungover? How you feeling this week?
I'm not drunk yet. I'm in the process of drinking something.
Okay, good.
Let's see what happens.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking something called a truly hard seltzer.
Wait, you really don't know that you've never had one of those?
What are these? Truly?
Yeah,
It's hard
It is
seltzer.
I believe it's a watermelon. Yes.
You know what? Ruggs did inform me just before that there is now like a hard Sunny D. That doesn't seem right.
It's the best thing ever.
It doesn't seem right. Why would you make the hard Sunny D?
The Sunny D fucking hard drink is fucking amazing on a nice summer day.
Oh, man. I hope the kids don't get that mixed up. Or maybe they want to get it mixed up.
Well, I want, when the purple stuff comes out, I want that too.
Purple stuff,
that purple
OJ,
stuff.
Sunny D. Oh, yeah, Sunny D. Remember those? They were so excited, those kids in the
I want
refrigerator.
that purple stuff.
Yeah, I want the purple stuff too. I don't know why everybody's so
Grape
crazy
drink.
about Sunny D.
That's what it's called. All right, look, we got a bunch of things to discuss and some MCU TV to review. Let's hit it, you bastards.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
We got to start with the Hollywood strike update. The writers have now been on strike for 90 days.
Wow.
9-0.
Oh, shit.
While the actors, SAG, has been on strike now 18 days.
So they've only been saggy for 18.
A little, they're not as they're going to get saggier.
Yeah.
Those nuts are going to start hitting the ground soon.
Bat wings.
What bat wings? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, like when you stretch your ball skin, it looks like bat wings.
Oh, God.
Look, it looks like a batarang. Is this how Batman came up with this? Couple of more things that this has caused. The Emmys have been postponed. They were supposed to air in September. The nominations just came out like a few weeks ago. They will not be airing in September. They don't know when. Maybe November. By the way, did you see those Emmys nominations? There was a lot of shows in there that were nominated, shows that we reviewed on this show, which was kind of crazy. That genre stuff was getting a lot of love at this year's.
Really?
Like what?
Last of Us, 24 Emmy nominations, second only to HBO's Succession in number.
Wow.
Andor got a nomination for Best Limited TV Series. House of the Dragon got a bunch of nominations. Even, and this is the weirdest one, fucking Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan got a nomination for Best Limited Series. I'm like, really? Okay. All right.
That's
I
weird.
don't know about that, but all right.
I don't know about that one. But it was interesting. All the, Last of Us, Andor, House of the Dragon. Anyways, I don't know when the Emmys are happening. Did you guys see this story about The Rock apparently made a 7-figure charitable donation to the SAG-AFTRA fund?
Oh,
Yeah, I thought that was cool, and I thought that was going to prompt other people to do it, but
Right.
no one else did it.
Right? That's what I thought.
Like, if you really wanted to make these fuckers shake in their boots, like all of these rich assholes that are like actors should be like,
absolutely.
Like they wipe their ass with $1 million. You just keep throwing it into the fund. Say, listen, we can keep the strike going on for a while as long as you want.
Where's the Ryan
And when
Reynolds?
you start bleeding money.
Yeah.
So on that note, I saw something, I forget where I saw it, but you're already seeing the movie studios, I think one, they're delaying stuff, right? And part of it's because they don't have the actors to promote, but also part of it is they're stretching out their movie release schedule because some anonymous studio head or someone in power was basically quoted as saying not off the record, but like anonymously, that their whole plan is to stretch this out as long as possible so that these actors and writers can't make rent.
Yeah, until they're homeless and they can't eat anymore. That's ridiculous. That is some cold shit. That is cold, but it's also business.
So this is a cold ass war.
Shit.
But if the actors really wanted to band together and all these rich actors kicked in like, $500,000 each,
right? They
could pay all these small time actors who can't afford to lose their jobs. Like then if the goal is to make these corporations or these studios accountable, like that's how you do it.
Absolutely. Where's your Nicole Kidmans and your Tom Cruises and your Ryan Reynolds and all these rich fucks? Everybody chip in $1 million, $2 million. You can afford it. SAG said this is the single largest donation they've ever gotten since they started in 1985.
Why do you think Dwayne Johnson did it?
I think some of this is image control, damage control, because, he had some questionable things with the Black Adam and his image was being dirtied a little bit. I think part of it is let me get back in the good graces of
Will Smith going to cut a check? Or
holy
what do you
shit,
think?
Will Smith, he could get away with everything. Just give him fucking $2 million, Will.
Yeah, Will, come on, pony up, dude.
Regardless of his motivation, he did it.
Yeah,
right.
But nobody else did.
He put his money. He put his money on the line for it. So it doesn't matter if he had the most nefarious reason for doing it. He did it.
And a couple of more of those, they can absolutely have a chance of waiting out.
They need more than a couple more.
The studios, yeah, maybe a little, but it would help. It'll help if the studios want to starve them out and freeze them out that long. So, regarding the release delays, Sony is the first studio to fuck around with their schedule. No surprise.
Oh, shit.
They are the first ones to start moving things around. Here's what they did. Craven the Hunter, who they just released a trailer for. We watched the trailer. We were like, what is this movie? It's moved. It was supposed to come out this year, October 2023. It's now coming out August 30th, 2024. Over a year away. That is also not a great weekend. It's a Labor Day weekend. The notoriously bad weekend to release big stuff. So that's interesting. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse been pulled off the schedule and not even been given a new date. It is TBD right now. And I never thought they were going to hit that March 9th, 2024 deadline anyways. Like, I don't think they recorded any of the audio. And there were stories that came out that like 100 animators quit when they were making the part 2. And everyone is overworked. And I was like, there's no way they're making another one in a year. These fucking movies take 5 years to make. So that does not have a date anymore. Here's what's weird. Madam Web opens 2 days earlier on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Ghostbusters Afterlife also pushed from December this year to March. Bad Boys 4 given a date, June 14th.
Jesus.
2024. Venom 3 gets a date. It is coming out July 12th, 2024. And then Gran Turismo pulling a weird move. It was supposed to come out on August 11th. Instead, it's going to do preview screenings for that week, and it'll open wide August 25th. They are hoping the fans help them promote the movie because their actors can't. So that's a lot of stuff. Comment? Thoughts?
It's kind of a pretty shitty end of the rest of the year.
Yeah. Do you think more things are going to get moved out? Well, there's the Marvels, there's Dune 2, there's Aquaman. I heard Dune 2, the IMAX president said it's not moving because he wants those IMAX screens. He doesn't want to give them up.
That makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel's moves just because they don't have the actors to promote this thing. Although  maybe you don't want Brie Larson.
Right, as we discussed last week.
Yeah, it could be a win-win, but who knows?
But I feel like
it's kind of, we talked about this last week, but we're seeing it. Like, you had a great run of movies.
Oh yeah,
you had the Barbenheimer thing. You had Mission Impossible. Sound of Freedom is still doing. Sound of Freedom's made more money in the U.S. than Mission Impossible, for what it's worth.
That's crazy.
So you have this buzz around the movie theaters, and there's nothing to take advantage of it. There's nothing that's coming out that people are going to want to see. I mean, what's the biggest thing coming out next? Blue Beetle?
Blue Beetle, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is getting good reviews.
Yeah.
That's going to do okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That movie is 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, making it the highest.
We might have to review it.
The highest rated Turtles movie.
Oh yeah, I'll watch that.
It's got a crazy cast, and but Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg writing. I love their stuff.
I don't know if I like that, but like, yeah.
And
I'm kind of starting to turn on Seth Rogen right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it is happening. And like you said, Anthony, I think the studios are saying, look, we're going to have this gap coming up as every day goes on. So let's slide all this shit out and put more space between it and push everything back. It's the only thing they can really do, or push things back and hope that it's resolved by then. But we might see more go out to the theaters now.
Did you see the Universal? This was like maybe a week ago, but they were trying to already recreate the Barbenheimer buzz.
Yes. How?
September 29th, Saw 10 and Paw Patrol both come out.
Oh my God.
They were releasing a hashtag called Saw Patrol.
No, you can't force this. It happens organically.
You can force it, but you just can't let anyone know that you're forcing it. It has
true.
to appear like it is got some kind of groundswell.
Well, but here's the problem. I saw other reports that social media influencers are also being warned. SAG has essentially told them, if you want to be ever in SAG in the future, you will not promote any movies if you are a social media influencer. I don't think we count under that. I think
we don't count. We don't count in anything. No.
Did you just put us in there?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, the social media.
What movies are we planning on? What movies were you planning on acting in?
Yeah, I mean, how are we going to affect anything?
I'm saying it's the people who get invited to these premieres and they do these like contracted sponsorships with studios that, But they said you can still review movies and talk about movies. And
I just got a nice picture of Imran's like perception
we have
of
to
this
shut
show.
Down? Oh boy. Are we influencing you to pick your butthole?
It would be great if Imran had this warped perception of our influence and was going to himself, man, I don't know if we can do the show.
I don't think Imran figured out that I do this show because I just want to talk to people.
He's just here killing time because he has no other friends.
Yeah.
I see.
I got nothing else to do.
Anyways, whatever, that plan may not work either. You can't force that shit. Remember when that Minions movie came out and all those fucking kids showed up in tuxedos? That was weird, but that was also organic. I don't think it was forced.
Yeah, I don't see... Studios might try to push this, but the beauty of it was organic, and it happened. And also, it'd be kind of tough because you'd have to have the studios working with one another.
Right.
Studios don't normally just release two movies that they want to do well on the same day, the same studio. So you'd have two studios working together.
It's the same studio. Yeah, that it's just you see.
No, I'm saying no, it's not the same studio. That doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
But you would have to then have the studios working with each other, and they don't give a shit if the other movie does well.
Yeah,
they want their movie to do well. So this was a phenomenon that I don't know can be easily recreated.
I don't think you can catch this lightning again. It just happened in a miraculous way. Anyways, listener, let us know what you think about all these delays. Join this conversation. You can join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. Jock and Nerd. There is a link in the episode description. It is a closed, exclusive group just for you, listener. We're all there. Get in there. Geek it out. All right. Well, you know what is coming out?
What's that?
Marvel TV shows, whether we want them to or not at this point. We'll get into that later. But we have a new trailer and a release date for Loki Season 2 hitting Disney Plus October 6th. This trailer just dropped. Anthony?
Yes.
What'd you think watching this? We see a lot of returning faces and some interesting things happening and some new people.
I didn't mind it. Loki Season 1 was all right for me. I thought it ended pretty well. I thought it was one of the of the lot. It was one of the better Marvel shows they had, and I think this trailer looked pretty good.
Yeah,
seeing dude from from Indiana Jones,
Kiwi Kwan.
No, what's his name in that movie?
Short Round.
Data.
Short Round. And, no, he's Data in Goonies.
Goonies. Yeah. His voice just makes me smile.
He's great. Short Round.
Yeah, it looked pretty. I mean, it looked entertaining. Curious to see it was curious that they had Kang, aka Jonathan Majors, in the trailer.
He's still Kang.
They're not really shying away from it too much.
Nope.
I think there is a little bit. There is an interesting story to tell. But we'll get into my overall Marvel thoughts later.
That's the thing.
This show looks all right.
Ruggs, are you excited? Loki is time slipping. It looks like Sylvie and Ravonna are back. This one also 6 episodes, but I love the first season, and this looks great. What do you think, Ruggs?
I feel like it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm not really like anticipating it. In fact, like a lot of my enthusiasm for Marvel shows are like I know I'm not gonna get anything special.
Yeah,
kind of like I know what to expect. For me, it's just a way to like kind of be a completist and fill in time.
Yeah.
So, do I feel like I should watch it? Yeah. Am I like excited to watch it? Yeah, but like not like there's not a lot of enthusiasm from me on this.
I mean, well, and we'll get into Secret Invasion, but I think it's they're kind of
just weird, like
burning people out a little bit.
Yeah, it's just like when you're getting stuff and you know that it's gonna be like just all right, like it's just like hard to get excited because like the whole thing about when the Marvel shows were coming out. We didn't know what we were going to get because WandaVision was so unique. And then the next one came out and the next one was different. But we know like what Loki is. And it was fun. But at the same time, it was just Loki. They did the same kind of stuff where like he gets kicked in the nuts 1,000 times.
Yeah, but Tom Hiddleston
there's a female Loki.
There's a female Loki. I love Owen
Wilson.
There's
a time stream. And then they're going to introduce stuff. And then you're like, hey, they're introducing all this great time stuff. It's gonna have some repercussions in the Marvel universe, and
nothing happens.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw the end of that post-credit scene of Ant-Man: Quantumania. They showed us Prime Kang in the 30s or whatever, and that's kind of in this show. So
Victor Timely,
that's right. And it was Timely Comics, and then it became Marvel Comics.
But are you excited for Kang because you've already seen Kang in Ant-Man? So like it's underwhelming.
Yeah.
Like there's no mystery left in Kang for me.
I'm excited to see Loki's shenanigans because Hiddleston's great and his chemistry with these people are great. Okay. And like this has like a Wes Anderson vibe. Some of the set, it's weird, and the color and like the palette. But this one actually looks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
I didn't notice the Wes Anderson vibe.
It's very Wes Anderson-y with these, but it looks better than some of the stuff we've been getting. So hopefully the first one is great.
I'm gonna like lower my expectations and hopefully I'm pleasantly surprised.
Hopefully. Okay, does this surprise you? Let's move on to meanwhile over in Star Wars Disney TV land. Donald Glover is going to be writing this Lando TV show and starring in it with his brother, Emmy-winning actor writer Donald Glover. It's all in.
Childish Landino.
Listen, as long as he fucks a robot during the season, I'm good. You got to at least have...
Yeah, he's going to get some robot tushy.
Yeah, you got to have him getting some robot can, literally. But, same thing with Star Wars. They've given us a lot. Some of it great, some of it not so good.
Didn't Glover write ATL or was involved with ATL in some like major way?
Yeah. He got a lot of Emmy nominations for acting in it and writing it and other things.
So okay, so he's
won a bunch of Emmys.
He's got some juice with that.
I mean, it's exciting that he's into this character he created for Solo, which it's a movie. It's not bad actually. We did shit on it a lot, but then I watched it again and I was like, it's okay. I never thought all this shit happened in the same day.
It's aight. It was just very convenient.
Yeah. Very contrived. Anthony, you a Childish Gambino fan? Does this do anything for you? If Donald Glover is this?
No.
Come on.
Nothing.
It's Glover.
Nothing. Star Wars is I mean, other than Andor, Star Wars is in almost as bad a shape as DC
right?
Entertainment.
Right.
So I have nothing. and I'm not a Star Wars fan, as I've said 75 million times. So, this does really nothing for me. Well, I mean, what is this about? Isn't like Lando a pansexual dude or some shit?
I don't know
what they're going with now.
He's a scoundrel. Young Lando is a scoundrel.
Isn't the latest thing is they making him pansexual?
No, he bangs robots.
Yeah.
Isn't that pansexual?
That's everything.
Well, that's like that pansexual is when you just fuck pans.
Oh,
yeah.
So
what about
just like,
pots?
you just go into the dishwasher and just start putting your dick in it.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
I don't know. I think pansexual means you do fuck anything.
Yes, you fuck all.
I'll fuck anything that moves.
Just like Dennis Hopper in Blue Velvet. Yes.
Yeah.
You fuck all. Pan meaning all sexual. So
does it have to move? I don't know. Do you ever see those people that say that they're in love with buildings and they fuck buildings?
Oh, Bane did that on the Harlequin show.
Okay, so it does. Okay, so it's a thing.
They're building fuckers? I know there's car fuckers. Isn't that a thing? That was in that movie Crash, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Anyways,
is that true?
These are all very kinky fetishes. It's a different podcast. Let's check in with the Barbenheimer box office because holy shit, this thing had a strong opening weekend and a really strong second weekend. It's single-handedly saving the cinema. Move over, Tom Cruise. So, Barbie second weekend makes $93 million.
Oh, shit.
In its second weekend. That is a drop of only 43%.
Wow.
So far, it is sitting at $351 million domestically, $774 million worldwide, $780 now in just about 10 days. Wow. It's easily going to hit $1 billion. I have no doubt.
Unfathomable.
Isn't that crazy? Meanwhile, Oppenheimer also doing great. It's now at 174 million domestic, 405 million worldwide. Combined, these two movies have pulled in over $1 billion in just like the last 10 days. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's good. I mean, it's good. Like what we talked about earlier, though. It's too bad this is helping the theaters post-COVID. This is a great thing, but there's nothing else.
But yeah, is it going to be
maybe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will do well? I mean, Mario did well, so hopefully Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles does well. But
I mean, that's interesting. I don't know if the Turtles are going to be as popular as that Mario movie that made over $1 billion.
Well, look, Turtles is a big IP.
They've been around just as long as Mario.
I also think that they've had so many iterations through the years that they've kind of like they're like really squeezing every drop out of it. They're really like running it through the mill. So
almost lost its identity. There are so many different
they were just saturating the market with the same shit all the time. So I feel like there's this one, it's like they're kids.
Which is great because they're teenage. It's in the name. So I love that they're being voiced by actual teenagers. That's different. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Dude, first of all, the cast is crazy. John Cena, Jackie Chan is in it as Splinter. You got Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, Maya Rudolph, Giancarlo Esposito, Ice Cube, Post Malone, Hannibal Buress. Music by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I also heard that, in the trailers, there's a lot of great hip hop. And it looks like the animation, right? It looks like Into the Spider-Verse. So the fact that it's at 97% on the Rotten Tomatoes meter with 64 reviews, it's kind of wild. It's kind of got me intrigued. Like, what is this movie? But I don't think, the Haunted Mansion came out and it did not do anything much.
You want to? Well, I can spoil something for you right now.
Okay.
One of the things that irks me.
Yeah.
So, according to Turtles lore, the reason why they're ninjas is because, the rat,
Splinter.
Yeah, he knows about ninjutsu. He's he was either a pet rat or something.
Wasn't he like a protege of Sato Shredder back?
Or
right?
it's either that he was a guy and got turned into a rat and mutated into a rat, or he's a rat that mutated into a guy. Either way, both of those incarnations knew ninjutsu. You want to know how they learn ninjutsu now?
YouTube?
Yes.
Oh my God! Get the fuck! Are you serious?
Yes.
No. How do you know this?
because I watched the review.
Oh shit! Wait,
So
Splinter doesn't teach them? What the fuck is this?
I guess he does. I guess he learns it from YouTube. I don't know. I just feel like they're trying so hard to make it relatable to stupid kids. When you don't got it, just fuck them.
Listen, I learned.
It might be a good movie. It might be a good movie, but I just think that's just lame. I'm sorry. Lame.
Look, I learned how to drive a manual drive transmission car from YouTube. It was fantastic. So
Did you really?
yeah. Because like my wife taught me, she had one, and I was kind of getting it, and then I was like, let me watch some videos. Yeah.
If I was gonna go and like do an operation on you, do you want me to learn from YouTube?
I mean,
driving a car and doing ninjutsu is two different things.
that's true. There might be a nice.
You have to train for like years, and you have to like master all kinds of shit. You can learn on YouTube.
Great yoga videos.
Give me a fucking break.
The video told me this is all you got to know. Drive a stick shift. Clutch is home. One dude said that, and then it all clicked. I was like, oh.
Like, I watched Tybo video. It was with Billy Blanks. Now let me fucking be a fucking master killer.
Yes.
So, Imran, are you basically now Dominic Toretto?
Yeah,
I can drift backwards downstairs.
Should we just call you Imranic Toretto?
Yes. Family, y'all.
All right, listen, I'm strapping a bag vault to the back of Imran's car. I want to fuck shit up.
I wanted to drive in that NASCAR race in Chicago. I was like, let me in there. I'll pull the e-brake, I'll turn it.
Javetto.
No, Tom Cruise is a better driver than all of us. That's the thing. Okay. This is fun stuff, but we need to end this news segment with some sad news. There's some major celebrity deaths this week.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I know, but we got one of them hits home. I'm going to start with Sinead O'Connor, who was only 56, passed away this week. Cause of death has not been released. It's very interesting.
Do you want to throw stuff out there?
Well, yeah, I feel like I know because here's the thing, right? She died a Muslim. She converted to Islam in 2018. Whoa. That was cool.
That's it.
That wasn't it. Her son had committed suicide in 2020. He was 17. So I don't know if she was depressed or if it was suicide.
I feel like she might have been either, in a really bad shape mentally and probably on some kind of cocktail.
You think
that went awry? Yeah. That's my guess. I don't know how sure I am.
Yeah, they haven't released it, but man, what a talent, right? What a voice. Of course, nothing compares to you. And there's other songs. I love This Is the Last Day of Our Acquaintance. I remember watching Saturday Night Live when she fucking ripped up the picture of the Pope. That shit was wild.
Yeah, she was right too.
All the things she was saying ended up being right, and she did not get a lot of support. But now posthumously, everyone is like going to be supporting her and playing her music. Apparently, there's a really good, I haven't watched it yet, really good documentary on Showtime. Came out last year about her life. Yeah, I do want to watch that.
One thing I'll say about Sinead is she had integrity. And not a lot of people have that.
That's right.
Even famous people or just regular people have
Absolutely.
It. Now, especially now. Zero.
Yeah.
She wouldn't just say stuff to get people to like her. Yeah. She didn't give a fuck, and that's what I expect about her. So.
Yeah, and so young too, which is crazy. That she was only 56. Then the other one I know, part of my childhood, I know is part of Rug's childhood. Paul Ruebens. Fucking Pee Wee Herman, dude.
Pee Wee Herman.
70 years old, was battling cancer quietly. Nobody knew. And of course, I mean, Pee Wee's...
He's had quite a strange past. He got in trouble for jerking off in a movie theater, which I don't hold against him.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he was in a porn theater. That's what you go to do in a porn theater.
Back when they had them in Times Square and shit. Yeah.
No, he was in like Sarasota, Florida in a porn theater and he was jerking off because he's gay and he went to, do gay stuff.
Gay? That's why he's jerking off.
No, he was trying to cause he was in the closet. I think he was like trying to find some action, I don't know. I'm just guessing. This is how I dream about it.
I shouldn't be laughing, but the way you just said that, he was jerking off because he was gay.
No. I think he was like trying to find some action. I know. Like he was cruising for some dude, like some hookup or something.
And this was in the 90s, way before social media. Somehow it gets out everywhere, and he kind of he doesn't get canceled. He has to. So
anyway,
here's the thing though. Do you remember when the first appearance after that, when he comes back as Pee Wee Herman at the MTV Music Awards,
He gets a huge.
He comes out to huge applause, and his first line is actually hilarious. He's like, "Anybody heard any good jokes?" And everybody just starts cracking up. I was like, "It's fucking brilliant, dude." But Pee-wee's Playhouse ran from 1986 to 1990. I fucking woke up every morning to watch this on Saturday morning.
You forgot the second fucking scandal that he had.
What was the second one?
The second scandal, which is interesting, is so Pee-wee is like this huge. I mean, Paul Ruebens is this huge collector.
Yeah.
Right. He collects all kinds of shit. Sofubi, kaiju stuff, toys. And he like a million things. And one of the things that many of the things he collected was photography.
Oh boy.
Right. And art photography.
Yeah.
Anyhow, they rated him, and he was going to make this exhibit, and they rated him, and they looked at the photography. They found some like photographs that could be considered, there's some minors in the photographs.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so they were going to try and bust him for like pornography.
Jeez, when did that happen?
And that was in 2004.
Oh shit!
But he just like said fuck it. He paid the fines because there wasn't like. I don't think it was bad enough that they could have really done anything with it, but it was enough that he made the newspaper. So that's another one that I just want to point that out.
Jeez, I didn't.
So
body's not even cold. Stopping.
Well, look,
but
now that we put all this dirty laundry
like,
out there,
this is all going to come out next week.
Right.
Like, because you know what happens is like everybody's like to Love Fest.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the next week, it's like all the fucking people come in, chime in, like, let me ruin the party. But
what does Paul?
What a eulogy from Jock and Nerd.
Now what I'll say is that he was hilarious.
Yeah,
he was very inclusive and very imaginative. And if you like SpongeBob or any of those cartoons, he was a living cartoon before those things were around.
Absolutely, he had puppets.
He was like. Yeah, he was the model. Yeah, he loved puppets. Yeah. He's one of my people with puppet people. He had a very interesting artist that designed all of his sets, and I think that inspired Tim Burton because he kind of kept that whole theme.
Yeah, Tim Burton did that first movie.
Yeah. The same artist that worked on Pee-wee's Big Adventure was working with Tim Burton for years. So like, it's just like he's kind of mixed in with Tim Burton. He's got his own thing. And he was like Pee-wee's Big Adventure is like a staple of my childhood. I'll tell the story again. I know I've told it before. Is that I went to go see it with my best friend and his mom, and his mom was like uncontrollably laughing through the entire thing. Like she could not like hold her shit together. She just, and I'm like, what? And I was like, wow, this lady thinks this shit is funny. And I was like, wow, she had a great time. And I thought it was funny for completely different reasons. So
he definitely had this sense of humor where kids would love it. And there was stuff for adults in there and it was blended in perfectly, right? Like you could enjoy the fucking silliness. He broke a lot of actors, had them on his show before they were big, like Sandra Bernhardt, Lawrence Fishburne was Cowboy Curtis, Phil Hartman was on there before he got big.
Phil Hartman helped create Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, he did. He was writing it with him, yeah. Natasha Lyonne, Jimmy Smits, Rob Zombie was a production assistant, and John Singleton was a security guard before he made fucking Boys in the Hood.
That's right.
On the show. So, but he was,
in an episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse, they show Gamera.
Oh, they did?
You know when they do the thing where he puts like he has like the magic screen come on and they watch like a little movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, they watch Gamera and Gamera's doing like, when he's doing like the flips, like he's doing a gymnast flip.
And
like
Gamera
they show
versus Giron.
Yeah.
Was it Giron? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, there was a whole and he always had Godzilla's. You watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Godzilla's always in the background. And he's in the movie. He falls down into he rides through a Godzilla production as they're filming it and everything. So he loved Godzilla. So
Mecha High Ni Ho. You had Jambi. But Ruggs, he was more than Pee-wee. Do you have any favorite roles outside of Pee-wee?
Wasn't he in Happy Days? He was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was Oswald Cobblepot's dad. In Batman Returns. What else was he in?
He was the spleen in Mystery Men. That was hilarious.
That's right. What else
He
did he
did
do?
a lot of voice acting for a lot of cartoons.
Midnight Madness. He was in that
He
movie.
was Batmite, and he's on the Voltron. He did a lot. He was in Gotham for a couple of episodes.
Yes, that's true.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was weird.
Yeah, he was always doing like, I think it was on like The Blacklist too. A couple
was
episodes.
he? Yeah. He did. He did a voice in Rebels. The man did a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of credits. He was just more than Pee-wee, but Pee-wee is now an iconic character. Like, who doesn't know Pee-wee Herman? So we had to remember Paul.
Did you ever see the new Pee Wee Herman movie?
I think so. I did.
Where Joe Manganiello becomes Pee Wee Herman's best friend.
Was that Big Holiday? That's the last one.
Yeah, that's
Still good. Still good. The Alamo,
that's
the bicycle, the truck driver lady. What was her name? Big Bertha, her face.
Oh, Marge.
Marge. Yes. Marge.
Large Marge.
It's all that. It's fucking great. It's a great movie. The first movie. So, anyways, sad ending to the news, but we will take
R.I.P.
Well,
to a
there's one
legend.
more. You guys mentioned Sinead O'Connor and Paul Ruebens.
There is,
right?
there is one more. Who is it?
This guy, I don't know if anyone who watches Euphoria, but this dude, Angus Cloud, also passed away.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
From Euphoria. I don't know who he is either.
Euphoria is a popular show.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Does it say?
What happened?
What did it say? I don't know.
I
I just saw it on Instagram. What a cause of death? Let's see.
Let's see here.
I think it was substance abuse.
Possible overdose.
Yeah. Possible overdose. 911 call for possible overdose. Yeah, that's 3. These things happen in 3. There's the third one. Jesus.
Wow, that's really crazy. That's like
3? I thought this was 4.
No, Sinead, Paul, and this guy.
Oh, Paul Ruebens. I didn't realize Paul Ruebens' name was Pee-wee.
That's Pee-wee. No, it's not 2 separate people, you motherfucker. What the fuck? Come on.
Well, you guys shit on the guy for the first half of it. I stopped paying attention once you started defending him jacking off in the theater.
Well, if you go into a porn theater, what are you going to do?
This was
what
before
it's
the
there
internet.
for.
Yeah, that's what people did. It was the style at the time. That's all.
Do you have those in Chicago, Anthony?
I don't know. I don't know if I've heard about a porn theater.
I don't know where they would have been here.
In New York, there's like theater. There's like places where you could go. Back in the day, they have like peep shows.
They were in Times Square for fuck's sake up until the 90s.
You walk in, right?
Yeah,
and it's just a booth, and the shade lifts up, and there's like a naked lady dancing, and then and you just.
I've heard of this.
Oh my God. One time I was living in New York and in the Village Voice, there was an article about the guy who is the jizz mopper in these places.
Yeah.
And he wrote this whole article about what it's like to be a jizz mopper in the fucking people. It was amazing. It was so fascinating. Anyways, that concludes the obituary section of the Jock and Nerd podcast.
We did our best.
We're going to take a quick break, play some promos.
I'm glad Anthony.
We're going to come back, talk about Secret Invasion on Disney Plus right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Attention podcast listeners and YouTube watchers. I'm Logan, the host of Mostly Superheroes, a weekly pursuit for the world's best stories with an emphasis on live-action superhero stuff. Every week, join me, PC Mike, The Giggler, Scotty Scoop, and Carrie as we talk MCU, DCU, books, TV, movies, and more. MostlySuperheroes.com is where you want to be. Watch us on YouTube, listen where you get your podcast, and we'll see you Sunday on Patreon. Enjoy the rest of the show.
What's up? This is Brian, and I'm the host of Citizens of Pawnee, a Parks and Recreation podcast. That's right, a podcast dedicated to my favorite TV show, Parks and Rec. Every week I discuss my favorite things about the show, which include character breakdowns, episode rewatches, and other random facts and tidbits about the show. You can find me on Instagram at Citizens of Pawnee Podcast and listen wherever you get your podcast now. You will literally love it.
And Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show, you are a fan of the podcast, make sure you sign up for our awesome Patreon fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon.
Jock and Nerd.
And you can give back, and there's tiers, there's benefits. You get access to a bonus exclusive podcast feed where the shows come out early. There is bonus content, instant reactions, fun things over there. You can join us for our monthly Discord hangouts where we geek out. The next one is scheduled for August 24th, Thursday. And there's also a You Pick It tier where you can pick any movie for us to watch and review on the show. A lot of fun stuff, and you'd be giving back and helping us out, and we appreciate everybody's continuing support. You guys are amazing. The best fans ever. Jock and Nerd. Give them that again. Anyways, let's get to... Shut the fuck up. What do you laugh? It's not funny. What are we doing? Yes, review time. This week, we'll be looking at the entirety of the Secret Invasion TV show on Disney Plus from Marvel Studios. Here are your spoilers.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
This would be the 9th MCU Disney Plus TV series that has come out based on the 2008 Marvel Comics storyline of the same name, of course, Secret Invasion. On Rotten Tomatoes, I don't only usually check like TV shows, but then you have like all the Marvel properties. So this one, I'm like, let me take a look. It's sitting at 55% tomato meter. This is one of officially the lowest rated. It is the lowest rated MCU show and one of 3 of the lowest rated MCU things. Joining, I think, Eternals and Ant-Man Quantumania being rotten. It's a green splat, people. It's a green splat, okay? This show ran 6 episodes, budget reportedly $212 million for these 6 episodes. Show is created by Kyle Bradstreet, who worked on Mr. Robot. It's a very good show. Every episode directed by Ali Salim, of course, starring Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. You got Ben Mendelsohn. Stacked cast here. Kingsley Ben-Adir, Dermot Mulrooney, Olivia Colman, Don Cheadle, Emilia Clarke. Lots of big names and things going on here. Anthony.
Yes.
What happens in these 6 episodes of The Secret Invasion here?
Okay. This movie, excuse me. This is as you said, 6 episode show where Skrulls have been living amongst us, and they are pissed because Nick Fury left them on Earth and reneged on his promise. So now they want to cause World War III to blow up, to kill everyone on Earth so that they can live here. That's basically it. And Nick Fury has to stop them.
It's a secret and it's an invasion.
Yeah.
Ruggs, did you like binge all of this in one sitting? How'd you swallow this? I know you didn't watch it weekly.
2 big gulps, Imran.
2 big gulps. Okay. Yeah.
I did like one large. I did 3 episodes and then 3 episodes another day.
Which is it's probably a great way because the run times of these episodes all over the place. From anywhere from like 50, 40, 35, 38 short fucking episodes. It's kind of weird. Anyways, Anthony, let's start with you before we get into the things that happen in the finale. Mm-hmm. What did you think overall when the show ended?
I'm like rubbing my eyes right now.
Oh God!
In anticipation of talking about this.
It's giving me a migraine.
I've defended Marvel for a while. And I feel like what we're seeing now with Marvel is death by 1,000 cuts.
Oh boy!
And I have to. My initial thought is they just need to fucking stop doing television.
Oh shit!
It's I thought it was a good idea when COVID hit and we had nothing to watch and when WandaVision came out, but it's clear to me. The TV shows, the Disney Plus thing, I don't know if it's entirely Marvel's decision. I think Disney needed content, and they forced Marvel to put stuff on Disney Plus. Yeah. But it's clear to me that they can't make good TV shows, and it's just sapping their creative energy from everything else. And I think this came out, this isn't really part of Iger's new regime.
This is the JPEG stuff.
Yeah, so this is still, there's still time to kind of course correct, but golly, this was it wasn't even that it was horrible.
Right.
It was just so meh that I was watching this show on Sunday, like Saturdays, Fridays. I wasn't watching it when it would come out. I didn't even care.
Yeah.
It got to the point where I got with the CW shows where I started watching them just because I had to watch them for the show, and then eventually I phased out. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's an interesting premise. I think there's a good story there, but it's just very slow, very boring, very vanilla, not committed to really doing anything. Lots of stuff that there's a lot of told history, not shown history. A lot of half-baked ideas. It's just completely vanilla, and it ends in just like shit. I mean, it's just not. There's just. It's just not a good show. It's just not good. I'll already state I'm debating in my head by the end of this if it's worse than She-Hulk or not.
Jesus, it's surprising.
But
yes,
but yeah, at this point it's what Marvel does on TV, and it's not even getting any better. And they you said it was $200 million. I don't know where the money even went.
I have no idea.
But I mean, there's like some hints of decent stuff, but there's no style. They're not fully committed to the espionage spy political thriller thing. They're not really committed to anything in this. They're just kind of going through the motions, and it shows. So I'd love to get into it deeper, but that's my opening thought.
Okay. I'm kind of with you there. I will just say, yeah, at the end of this 6-episode run, my first thought in my head was, what the fuck happened? Look, great performances, right? Great cast. There's some bits of great dialogue here and there, but wow, what a wasted potential. What a fucking sloppy execution. I'm surprised that they haven't figured out how to fucking do television yet. I am surprised that they did not think out this Skrull thing very well. That is alarming. Huge things happen during the show, and like not a lot of people were watching it, talking about it, or like it. So this should have been like a whole phase or a movie. It's both too many episodes and not enough episodes. I don't know how you do that, but they always end up doing it. And yeah, it ends like every other fucking show, and She-Hulk even made fun of it. It ends in a big fucking third act CG battle like every fucking show. They keep doing the same. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Yeah, there's my top level thoughts. Ruggs, high level thoughts overall. What happened here?
Well, Marvel has done this, basically painted themselves into a corner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they've done this so many times that like they've already shown their hand. You know about the third act CG battle. You know that a lot of this stuff has no real ramifications in the Marvel universe. You know that all these things are going to happen and characters aren't going to really progress. Like, literally nothing happens in this show. Like, the Skrulls are here and they're still here.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you
There's
know,
no
like,
forward
Nick Fury's still Nick Fury. He's, you know,
Right.
He goes off into space with his wife or something, and that's it. Like, to go find a planet, and he was already up. He was up in space looking for a planet before.
He's got to go back because he's got to be there for the Marvels. That's all.
Yeah,
that's the only reason he fucked off back to Saber.
So nothing happens like in a way where, like, it's gonna have any effect on anything, any effect on the characters.
What?
It's
Big
kind of like
stuff-
this like impotent thing.
But big stuff does happen. Characters are killed. Major characters are revealed to be not who they were. We don't know for how fucking long.
Yeah,
Rhodey, big deal.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, stuff does happen, but it's just executed. Like they kill Maria Hill.
Yes.
And
huge. It's weird.
No one gives a fuck.
I know.
Like they don't do anything. It doesn't even drive anything.
Yeah,
it doesn't even change any. Like Nick Fury, like Ruggs said, Nick Fury's the same guy coming out of it. If you're gonna kill Maria Hill, it should prompt some sort of change in the character.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's still the same damn guy.
This is at the end of the day, this is what it is. So in the comic books, right, a Skrull invasion isn't enough for me to buy a comic book. I could give a fuck about Skrulls.
Right.
But now, when all of the Avengers are Skrulls,
You needed the heroes to be fucking
and you
Skrulls.
need Avengers to be in there.
Yeah.
Now all this shit is happening,
got
and
War
there's no Avengers are involved.
You got War Machine.
Right.
He was an Avenger. He's the only one.
And he's
like
not
the
even.
Ford.
He wasn't even War Machine at all.
No, I know. I'm surprised they didn't put the suit on.
And what's funny about them doing so? First off, War Machine, Don Cheadle, and it's just they don't even commit to that, right? So they have him doing it, but it's not subtle at all. It's so he by the end he's acting so over the top evil that you'd have to be a fucking moron to not realize that this is the guy.
Yeah, it was obvious that he was
like
a
they don't
Skrull.
even like if you're gonna do the whole Skrull thing.
Yeah,
let's get some characters in here, right? Let's keep us on our toes, but let's do this in a way that you don't know what's gonna happen next. They don't do that here. They fucking paint everything so obviously that you know, right? Like they tell you fucking Rhodey is a Skrull. They reveal it in a phone call.
Yeah. No, but it was obvious. Like everybody called it.
But then he's
before it
acting,
happened.
and then afterwards he's acting so not Rhodey.
Yeah.
That like, come on. And then they kill Talos.
Yeah.
There's all this thing where there's all this history that Samuel L. Jackson and Talos have, and all these things the Skrulls did for him, but they never really flash back to it. So it's all told history.
Not only does Talos get killed, Gravik shoots him, and then Fury just leaves him out in the fucking field and drives off, and somehow they get his body back. Like, what the fuck happened?
Well,
that made no sense.
And like it's all this told history. So we have we're being told, hey, there's a lot of history here, but they don't show any of it, and they just waste Talos' death. I don't know what that did for anything.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, Nick Fury is supposed to be the antagonist or protagonist. Excuse me.
You don't sympathize with him.
No,
the guy fucked up. Didn't do shit.
The guy benefited from the Skrulls being there. Now we're being told, hey, Nick Fury wasn't actually that cool. He just had Skrulls.
Yeah, he
to
used
help
them,
right?
Yeah,
and he's the asshole.
Yeah,
he left them there.
Yeah,
and now we're supposed to root for this guy.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And at the end of the thing, he's like, "Oh, I couldn't get you that place because there never was a good planet for you," or like something like that,
really?
Right? It's just like, this is the protagonist.
There's no other planet. What is Captain Marvel doing? Come on.
What is this?
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
I mean, it's just you had an idea, you have a cool idea. This is an idea that should work, and you just shit it out. I mean, they conveyed it out on a factory line, and that was what you got.
And they just kept it so small, and they just it doesn't feel real because the actual Marvel universe is this big shared universe.
Yep.
You can't have something like this go on, and be like, oh, and they even mention it, like, why aren't the heroes here? Why aren't the Avengers here? I don't want to bother them.
This one's personal to me.
Yeah, come on, like.
Come on.
No one's buying that.
I mean,
no one.
No, it's like,
and it looks small. You're right, Ruggs. The show just looked small. It looked cheap.
Man,
for what it is, it's an invasion.
Yeah,
right.
People in government are, there's an Avenger I mean, come on.
I mean, they tell us there's 1 million Skrulls on the planet, many in world governments. This is something you should have been building up to for many years. You can't just all of a sudden throw this out. Makes no sense.
I did like, what's his name? Talos, where he told various Skrulls, he's like, listen, we got to respect this as a host planet. They're letting us here. Right. We have to try and blend in and do what we can to live here because we have no other choice. We don't have enough people to take on 7 billion people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think I was like, well, yeah, like, why not? You're 1 million people strong. That's not a lot of people.
And aren't Skrulls like stronger than humans and have powers?
But I'm just saying, like,
they could have taken.
They like. There's no there's no real problem.
Yeah.
Because first of all, they're living in Chernobyl where humans can't live.
See,
anyway.
That's clever. I thought that was clever that they can live.
So, like, why not just be like, hey, listen, you want to live in Chernobyl? Like, we'll work with Russia. We'll build you some shopping malls. You can, we'll put some industry there.
There's abandoned nuclear plants.
There's no reason for them to do all this. You could be like, hey, they can live in fucking biohazard zones. All right, well, fuck it.
We can't. We don't live there. We're not using the land. Here you go.
I completely agree with you, Ruggs. I brought this up a couple weeks ago, and it was confirmed because they didn't do anything with it, or they didn't expand on it. But there's something missing, right? Like, I can understand why they'd be mad, but we need to see why. There needs to be a reason why Gravik wants to kill the fucking world.
Yeah.
Like, what is motivating him other than a personal vendetta against Nick Fury
because
to kill
Nick
7
Fury,
billion people?
You know, Nick Fury was inept, so now he hates everybody.
So yeah, exactly. Like, that no one thinks like that.
Well, and
what would be cooler is that if all of the freaking Skrulls realize that they can only live in nuclear wastelands, so they're like they just go and they like sabotage these fucking nuclear things and make them all have fucking implosions and shit, and they're like, oh, we got more property we can now like divvy up.
Right.
Like,
and then that becomes a crisis, right? Because then they're taking over the nuclear stuff, and it's like, wait a minute, we're putting our nukes in the hands of aliens, and we have no idea if they are, what their motivations are, right? So then you can parlay that into what they did at the end, which actually was interesting, is now there's this paranoia, and people are killing Skrulls left and right, and there's vigilantism, and people are killing Skrulls by accident and killing people.
Yeah.
Like, now you have something there.
It should have started where it ends. Like, all of a sudden, he brings up the harvest. Like, Gravik's plan keeps changing. You don't really know what he's doing. It gets thwarted. It goes off. And at the very end, he's like, oh, no, I want the harvest. And we're just hearing about this in the second to last episode. This really important thing that has all of their fuckers' DNA. It should have started there with the President Ritson making that speech, and now nobody is safe, and he's got to help them. That would have been interesting.
The Skrulls' plan was to infiltrate everyone, get us to fight each other and blow each other to smithereens, and then
take over the planet.
Then they were going to take over what's left over.
They could radiate, like the nuclear weapons would have radiated the whole planet, and then they would have been fine, right? I guess.
Yeah, they would have been fine.
But then,
I mean, like, the whole thing is like the first episode, they kill thousands of people, and Gravik's got this whole army behind him, and then at the end,
he kills them all.
I mean, this show's. I mean, it was clear this show's been cut and freaking chopped up because at the end there is no sign of anyone following Gravik anymore. We don't even know why they've left him.
Yeah,
I mean, he kills a couple people, and then are we supposed to believe everyone just left him? And then. Like, it's just so fucking cheap. Like,
what the president does is ridiculous too. Like every open season on Skrulls.
Oh my god!
That's stupid as well.
President Ritson is a fucking idiot. Let's just talk about that finale. It was some of the dumbest shit. I don't know what happened. Like, parts of the show were good, and at the end, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? So the whole Fury, meeting I'm like, he's just gonna give him the harvest. Meeting Gravik and surprise, it's Gaia. Like, that was so predictable.
Wait. Stop there.
Yeah.
Two things to right away point out.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 things, actually.
Yes.
1, the conflict this whole series has been Gravik and Fury.
Yeah.
And you end the last episode, and it's not Gravik and Fury. It's Gaia and Fury and Gravik. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Secondly, Gaia.
Yeah.
We'll get into her later, but Gaia.
Yeah.
Come on. Look, like Amelia Clark. It's Amelia. Like the whole point of, like, this is how stupid they are. They're like, well, we can cast Amelia Clark, and she's a hot actress that has been played in a role that she was tough, and she was a queen, and she was the fucking. It's believable, right? But it's like
Mother of Dragons.
The reason why Game of Thrones worked with her was because she is this little dainty little girl,
right?
And she's the queen of dragons, and she's fucking, like, it's a dichotomy, right? There's none of that subtlety here.
No.
It's like, oh, we have this little dainty girl, but she was tough in one show, so she's gonna be tough in this one. It's like she doesn't look like she could crack a fucking pencil.
It was the same thing in that Terminator movie. Like, you didn't buy.
Yeah,
for
you
a
just
second.
don't understand. Like, they don't. People these studio execs take the wrong message out of, like, oh, she was in this tough role, she can always do it. And it's like, no, that you don't understand the subtlety of that. Yeah. Thirdly, am I supposed to fucking, like, this is how cheap the show is. Am I supposed to believe that all this DNA is in one vial?
How does that work? Yeah.
How does that even, like, come on.
I didn't understand. It's like,
you don't have
in
the
Twins,
budget
they
for
made a
multiple
milkshake.
vials. You don't have the budget to just say, hey, here's a briefcase with all the vials.
Yeah. No, and he puts it in the machine. He's like, yep, it's real.
Because they just want like a quick solution that's, they They don't want it. They're like, oh, this is like nice and neat and everything's in one little thing.
Wait, so here's the thing I didn't understand also, right? So Fury's in there and he's pretending to be all weak, blah, blah, blah. And he gives Gravik the harvest. He puts it in. He fires up the machine. Gravik's a super Skrull. Oh, surprise. It's not Fury. It's Gaia. Like, that was totally predictable. I saw that fucking coming. And then we'll get to the fight in a second. But what was the plan? The plan was I'm going to give Gravik the harvest and hope he just leaves the planet. And if not, we're just going to hope Gaia can beat Gravik. And they both, she kills him. And it's two characters you don't give two fucks about because Gaia like disappeared for half the show. And poor Kingsley Ben-Adir acting his ass off, doing the best he can with some of these lines. But you
Gravik
really don't
had some potential, but Gaia,
he did.
Gaia is, I mean, that's just a shit character
you
that
did
you
not
don't
even care about her.
No, you have no motivation. And yeah, I mean, to that point, the plan.
What was the plan?
The plan, I guess the plan was to give him the harvest and then hope that before Gravik kills Fury, in quotation marks, that he turns on the harvest and just happens to have Fury inside the machine with him.
Right. He's also got to be in the machine.
They were just banking on his fucking stupidity of turning the machine on with them.
Yeah.
Like, what if he just decides to kill him?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that he would be in the thing in the first place.
Right. He would just killed him.
I did love the little detail where Gravik tells Fury he took the face of the first guy Fury ordered him to kill. Like, little connections like that were good, but they were few and far between. So, this battle. Let's talk about this battle. You see all the powers being used. They fucking Captain Marvel out. I put this screenshot in the notes. There's one point where
I remember that, seeing that.
Gaia has a tiny little Drax arm, and it looks fucking ridiculous. What the fuck is this? Like, the CGI was questionable. Oh,
I look like lady in the water.
Oh my god, it looks like a little flipper arm on her. What the fuck is going on? And like, they don't make her big, and it's all, and she kills him. And now, are we to believe this character that we just met barely is now the most fucking powerful being in the MCU and is working for Sonya Fallsworth? Olivia Colman, who was great. She had the best lines in the whole show.
Yeah, she has Captain Marvel, but so did Gravik, I guess, and he died. Yeah.
They both did. They literally made both these two characters the most powerful characters in the MCU because they wanted to make Skrulls. They wanted to make Super Skrulls, and they gave them these powers, and the CGI was not good for a lot of it, and it's two characters with all the powers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that they have a very anticlimactic fight.
Yeah.
I don't understand how she can throw him 20,000 feet into the ground. He gets up, but then she blasts him through the chest, and he's fine, and he dies.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, well,
that's a good point.
Now you've written yourself into a corner where now the most powerful character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a character named Gaia that, I don't know, a small fraction of the Marvel viewing audience has seen ever, because no one watched the show.
And I guarantee you that Emilia Clarke's not coming back to do it.
That's what I was going to say. I guarantee we never see her again. Probably.
Oh shit!
Because
you're gonna have to either think of something. You're gonna have to either pull a Star-Lord and take the power off of her, because Star-Lord was a Celestial at one point, or you're just gonna have to Eternals it and just have the head sticking out of the earth and ignore it.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, while they're fighting, the dumbest thing is happening over in the hospital ever. Is Sonya convinces Skrull Rhodes to move the president, and he does for some reason. Why wouldn't you just stay in that fucking room? Doesn't make any sense. She takes out all his security, and the real Fury is there, and he's sitting there trying to explain to this idiot president that he's a Skrull, stop the strike, everyone's in pods, and I'm like, just fucking shoot him. Why are you even explaining this? We saw her cut off the finger.
Shoot him in the leg.
Shoot him in the leg, cut off a finger, it'll turn into a fucking green thing. That's all you gotta do. But you're gonna kill him anyways, just shoot him. Why are you having this discussion?
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah.
Didn't make
They don't stick to their own rules.
No. And so that's why I think Harrison Ford is gonna be president in Captain America. This guy's probably gonna get impeached or killed or something. Yeah, and then he makes the press conference, and that part was great, and I wanted to see more of that, where like there's vigilantes shooting politicians and human people accidentally, and there's mass hysteria, and Shooter McGavin gets shot on the set from Billy Madison. Remember, Shooter's in this.
Isn't it great too that the show ends and he's come down here because it's his mess with the Skrulls and he cares about the Skrulls and he wants to help them and they're mad at him, and then now it's probably the worst it's ever been for Skrulls on Earth, and he leaves.
He's like, you guys can handle this.
I'm out of here.
That's a good point. They're all fucking targets now. No alien is safe, and he's like, I'm fucking off back to space.
And this is more of his mess.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he just made it worse.
But the Kree are negotiating, so I got to go up there.
All of a sudden, they're fucking Kree are now negotiating, and his wife is like a great diplomat, fucking person, whatever. We'll get to that in a second. Here's the other big crazy reveal that's got the whole internet abuzz. When they do, she kills Gravik, she goes down, and she releases all the people who they took over in the pods, and Everett Ross is there, and the real Rhodey is there. You notice he is wearing a hospital gown. He takes a step off. His legs don't work. And fucking Everett Ross even asks him, he goes, how long have you been down here? Which is hilarious, because that's what everybody's thinking. Now, first of all, shouldn't all those people have radiation poisoning? They've been under a fucking power
Where do they
plant.
pee?
Where did they pee? They should all have radiation poisoning and be dying. Makes no sense. But are we to believe that Rhodey has been a Skrull since Civil War, which is the last time we saw him in that hospital gown after Vision shot him down accidentally?
I hope not. That's I don't think that's confirmed. I think the director said that, but
that's lame.
But he
that
could
would
have
be
been
really bad.
But also, he could have been snatched at any, like, it could have been a colonoscopy, a prostate exam. We don't know. It could have been at a later date, just going to get a fucking routine checkup in the gown.
It would be really bad if you retconned his role and then had him in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame not as a Skrull.
That doesn't make any sense. He doesn't know.
And then he's at the deathbed of his best friend, and he's been a Skrull.
Does he know Tony is dead? I was like, what?
Yeah, that'd be really bad.
What the fuck? And then there's a whole bunch of other people down there in those pods. I don't know who those people are, but they're going to free them. You know what I also guarantee? They don't mention any of this in that Marvel's movie. There'll be no reference to anything that has happened in this show, even though he just came from this show. But a lot of it, I feel like, I saw this online. Peacemaker did the Secret Invasion storyline better. I feel like that's a true statement, if you think about it.
Peacemaker.
It was the same thing. Remember?
Yeah.
Aliens taking over?
It's just crazy to me because this show had $200 million. It's 6 episodes. The last 3 episodes, I think, were 30 minutes each. I mean, they just didn't.
35 minutes
They didn't
was
even
the last
have
episode.
anything.
Yeah. It was so short.
They didn't even have anything worth putting on TV to fill up 45 minutes.
This could have been a fucking movie. It should have been a movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could have been anything.
It was definitely stretched out.
Every episode was nothing happens and then someone dies at the end. That was every episode. That was pretty much.
Well, the first episode,
Hill dies.
Maria
Hill dies and Fury gets framed.
Yeah.
Right.
Then the rest, it's like everybody's on Fury's ass. And then he figures out that he wants to harvest, and then it's over.
And it's over. Let's talk about this other big revelation is the fact that Fury was married to a Skrull this whole time. And I found their relationship really confusing. I'm not sure. I didn't understand that he wanted to be with her. They shot at each other. She was a double agent. She was working for Gravik. I don't know. None of that worked for me. And then he's making out with the Skrull at the end. Great. But what'd you guys think of that? Did they have a sincere?
Why do you think they did that?
I don't know. What was the point of this? To show,
you know what? Go ahead.
Well, to show that he has an investment in the Skrulls, and then he cares about their plight so much that he married one. I don't know.
You know, I didn't find it all that. This part of the show I thought was somewhat interesting. It's just, I just think it's a little misplaced because the show is supposed to be this espionage thriller, and then it's also this late aged love story between a man and an alien.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't fit with what the promise of this show was, which was espionage, and now now they're like doing all these quiet scenes where they're finishing each other's lines, and I don't know. It just felt out of place, is what to me how it felt.
Well, look, Star-Lord fucks an alien, and we all like that.
That's true.
So I mean,
I guess I don't.
It's a Marvel thing.
It just didn't.
But like, it is weird that it's for this particular character, Nick Fury, to do it. I do feel like that's a little bit weird. A Skrull might not be bad because she could turn into like whatever you want. You get bored,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good point.
You hold up a photo and go, do this tonight.
This is what we're doing. Oh my God, that would be fun.
So there is they should have played that up.
I wasn't vibing with this relation. Like, it didn't work for me. Like, it was confusing. I was like, do they hate each other? Does she want to kill him? I don't know. Why is she working for Gravik? Is she what side is she on? Same thing with Gaia. Like, she's she's flip-flopping. She's wishy-washy. Like, what side are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, why are we supposed to like Gaia?
I don't know.
Wasn't the beginning of the show she was against her dad?
Right.
And then I'm pretty sure in that first or second episode,
and she helps them.
We're following her, and we think she's going to help them, and then we realize that maybe she wasn't, and 3,000 people die. So now, wait a minute, I'm supposed to like this character?
But then, how about that? She does help him stop that missile attack, and then Gravik kills her, and then like the laziest thing to show you the next episode. Oh, by the way, she did some extremists. We didn't show you. I was like, come on, why are you doing this? So like, it just, it was weird. It was weird.
Yeah, it was
just not well thought out. I will say though, did anybody like the performances? Again, Olivia Colman as fucking Sonia Fallsworth. That line where she's like, they were like, "What's your deal, lady?" And she was like, "I can be your bestie. I could not be your bestie." She's like, "It's like, what do you want? Cake or death?" I was like, it's fucking great. Her smile and her like peppy attitude as she's torturing people. I mean, I thought everyone was doing a good job with some great conversations between Sam Jackson and Don Cheadle and Talos and Nick Fury, but the whole thing doesn't really work.
They should have like just called this show "Old People Doing Stuff."
That's what it was.
Sometimes people who are really too small to be threatening are doing stuff.
Yes, small people and old people.
Yeah,
what happened?
I mean, it's just what they've been doing, and this is just turned up to 11 the wrong way. Is this every Marvel show lately has an interesting premise, but they just don't commit to it. So it's very safe within that premise. It's Marvel-y, and then also that premise, and then they go through an interesting premise, a boring middle act. And then they rushed the finale, and they did the same thing here, and they did a finale again that is in line with what Marvel does, which is a big CGI battle, and just none of it works because none of that connects to each other.
I mean, She-Hulk literally made fun of this exact thing just in the last episode of her series, right? She was like, "Oh, you can steal my blood, get superpowers." Is that what we're doing, writers? And they fucking do that here. Like, I don't understand why they don't see that they keep doing the same shit over and over again.
Yeah,
right.
It's just bad. It's literally like I'm watching this, and I thought to myself, my God, I'm good things just don't last forever. We're seeing the downfall. We've been experiencing it now. It's just hit me that we're seeing the downfall of Marvel, and we're seeing the downfall of modern superheroes on TV.
I mean, I don't want to admit it, but I'm going to have to start admitting it. Even me. We're going to have to start I need to see a therapist about this. This is getting bad. Okay. Before we rate it.
Imran, first of all, everything has its time.
I know, but like, man.
Number two is this is since 2008.
Yeah.
We've been doing the MCU, and we've been doing superheroes at this level since like, the 90s.
Yeah.
So, it's had a long
its peak,
run.
its plateaus. And this is why, I'm enjoying, we're pivoting to action movies here and there. It's definitely needed because what the fuck is happening here? Before we rate it and rank it, Ruggs, you were away. We did not get your thoughts on the opening sequence that it was generated by AI that made the internet really mad for a hot second. And then like nobody was talking about it afterwards. Do you have any?
Because no one watched the show.
Because nobody watched the show. But what did you think of the opening credits, and was it right for them to use this tool, which is AI image generation?
It looks like shit. And I mean,
maybe it's supposed to.
Yeah, it looks like shit. You could have hired some real people. If you're going to make it look like shit, you might as well just give regular people money.
I mean, but
you really don't care that much.
I feel like it was in line thematically with the show and the shape shifting and there was some fun cubist.
But it was
looks.
obviously like AI. Like I saw that right away. I'm like, this looks like AI.
Yeah, it was like Mid-Journey version 2 or 3 before they got faces.
No, it even looked like Dolly. Like it was
or even worse. Yeah, it's where the face. But I think it was purposeful, and you still have art directors and people putting it together and stuff and using it as a tool. I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad. It makes sense.
Whatever. If we start giving way to this shit and
It's
not
coming.
caring that it's look. Whether you like it or not, you got a comment that you can tell, at least.
Did you see that story where James Cameron talking about AI? He was like, I told you in 1984, motherfuckers. When I made the Terminator, I told you it was coming. He was right.
Well,
he was right. Okay. Final thoughts, Anthony. Let's rate it, rank it. Here are the 9. In case you forgot, the 9 television shows are WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion.
I'll say this again. The TV shows just need to stop. I mean, it's not going to get any. I've been burned so many times on these TV shows. Loki looks fine. It might be all right. Other than that, though, I mean, you got Echo. No one gives a fuck about that. I just don't understand how you even greenlight that show. Yeah. Agatha Chaos, Coven of Chaos, or whatever the fuck it's called. Same shit. Don't know why that show's happening. Daredevil, 18 episodes.
Ironheart. They're going to do Ironheart.
Fuck. Ironheart. Ironheart, a character that no one was probably the weakest part of that movie.
Does that character even exist?
Where? It does. Where? Is it real?
I mean, that character, So, and then you have Daredevil 18. I don't trust them at all to do 18 episodes of Daredevil. Mm. So, we're in a rough spot with these TV shows. Hopefully Bob Iger's like, just enough's enough. We're done bleeding with this shit.
I mean, that seems to be what he's saying, is we're going to cut back.
Yeah, well, the thing is, too, is they're going to cut back, but then they're going to release these shows with less of a budget, and they already don't know what they're doing with $200 million. So it's just another thing.
At least Daredevil is not 6 episodes; it's 18 episodes. And I saw somewhere they're going to use it like 2 9-episode arcs is how they're going to deal with it. So
interesting.
It's a little bit more.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
Anyways, as far as where the show rating and ranking it, I would give it a solid 4.5 out of 10.
Shit.
Oh shit.
I think way back I ranked She-Hulk 7 or 6. I might have ranked because of that finale, but then upon time and thought process, She-Hulk is a shit show. So
what's worse?
I don't know. I think She-Hulk is a little bit worse because it actually has writers that are like, this show has writers that are it's just like lazy. It's just fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Where She-Hulk has writers that are just incompetent. I mean, you have the main protagonist telling Bruce Banner in the first episode that she can control her powers because she's like talking down to him because she's just a woman.
I do it every day, like in the bar.
I do this every day, and you're talking to someone that like helps save the world, and she's like, "I'm so much better than you because I do this." Like it's just the wrong way to write a character. And then you end it with like this whole meta finale, but then she just ends it. Like it's just like, okay, like I don't want my story to be like this, so I'm just gonna end it. And it just goes, okay, so what the hell was the point of this all? Like, so I think She-Hulk's actually like written by morons, where this show is just spit out in like a factory. So I'm gonna give this like second to last.
Oh
because
shit! Okay.
Upon further review, I think She-Hulk was actually a worse show, and like stupid people wrote that. And almost not as dumb as some dumb people wrote this too, but maybe they were just I don't know.
I mean,
I'm arguing semantics. They're both bad shows, and this is near the bottom.
I mean, can we blame COVID for any of this? I don't even know at this point. I don't know.
COVID? I don't know. Did COVID infect their brains? I don't really know.
That's what it's long COVID. Ruggs, what are you going to give it? Give me a number. Where are you putting this one?
I think that it's a 5. Not great. It is barely average. It has like decent acting and whatever. Just the writing's all over the place, and it's not very compelling. Yeah, I would say that it's close to the bottom. I would put She-Hulk underneath this, just like Anthony said. And I would still keep Loki and WandaVision towards the top, and Moon Knight probably in the top 3.
Yeah.
And then Miss Marvel, and then the rest of them just are all like kind of like bad.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's gonna be
Floppy Jock.
Floppy Jock. I'm thinking like a 5.56. It is towards the bottom. Thinking about that ending of She-Hulk again, I thought that show started strong and ended strong. I did enjoy the meta-ness at the end, but then it's also ridiculous they made Daredevil do the walk of shame. Like, he would never do that. He would just swing the fuck off. What are you doing walking down the street? And then he had Scar just shoved in there. Hulk's like, oh, I got a son here at the barbecue.
Well, and then you had her looking like a Sims character, and it's just her character. Tatiana Maslany is a good actress, but she had nothing. Like, they made her so unlikable.
Yeah. It was inconsistent.
She's yelling at Bruce Banner, who saved the world, that she doesn't have to listen to him.
I mean,
because she's a girl.
It's families. You know how the families, that's what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, but
so
it's not the way to endear yourself to the audience. You take a beloved character and go, hey, by the way, this beloved character, we got a new character that hates him.
I just thought the whole plot of the show was stupid. That's all.
Well, so Secret Invasion, I gotta put it at the bottom. It is surprising the wasted potential. It is surprising they didn't think this out. It is surprising they haven't figured out fucking episodic television after 9 times going up trying to do this thing. Again, the best for me is WandaVision, Miss Marvel, Loki's great. I liked Moon Knight, and then like the rest of them are kind of like all the same. Kind of, they're all just okay. I don't know.
I mean, even the shows you like, Miss Marvel and Moon Knight, they both go off the rails.
Yeah.
By the end, they both end in ways where you're just going, like, what?
They haven't figured out how to end
Moon Knight
these
ends
things.
Moon Knight's climactic battle ends with him blacking out, and you don't even see it.
Right.
But there's a big kaiju battle, but again, another big
Miss
third act
Marvel.
CGI,
Miss Marvel ends with.
How did that end?
Do you even know how it ends?
I forgot.
Like, do you remember?
I forgot.
Then the mother turn into something, and then
the mother, like they're like some sort of shit in
Kamran's
Pakistan.
mother. That's right. It was bad.
And then he's like fighting. She's fighting Kamran, but like it's just they don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
they don't know how to write TV.
No, they don't. No, they still haven't figured it out.
And a lot of this too, Ruggs has probably said this in the past, but a lot of this is really just because they're putting stuff out there without any actually idea of the idea isn't driving it. It's the IP that's driving it.
Yeah, they're doing it backwards.
So they're releasing. They're like, oh, Secret Invasion, oh, Miss Marvel, oh, Moon Knight. Like, these are all cool storylines or people, but they don't have anything behind it that actually is like inspired to do this. It's just like they're putting the idea out there and then making the writer write around the idea.
Well, the other thing I heard was the only 2 mandates Marvel gave the director and the show was, 1, Nick Fury's got to get back on Saber by the end of it, and 2, maybe Rhodes' legs don't work when he comes out of that pot, is basically the 2 things Marvel wanted. So whatever that's worth. I mean,
you can certainly write around that.
Yeah.
So then they're just hiring incompetent writers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
There's something about.
There was good dialogue. There was bits of like really good dialogue.
Look, I'll give the show a compliment, and Marvel went off the rails a lot with this comedy shit, and this was taken very seriously,
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that.
Yeah, that was a highlight.
But there's a difference between doing it seriously and maybe being boring,
yeah,
and doing it like Andor,
yeah,
where the tension is there and it's compelling and you're like, oh shit, like, oh my God, like there's so much going on. These pieces are like falling into place.
That's when you get 12 episodes, though. You need fucking more episodes.
I don't think you need that many episodes. I just think you need a good idea. And they wasted a lot of time spinning their wheels with stuff that we already got the point we could move on.
I don't
to
understand
else.
why they know there's 6 episodes, why they don't speed up the fucking pacing of these shows. Like, I don't get it. Like, more, you have 6 episodes, is
like
fine,
if you can
more
make
shit has to happen.
How much screen time was the entire show if you added it all together?
It's probably maybe 5 hours, maybe 5.5.
No, get the fuck out of here. Not 5 hours.
You think less?
The last 3 episodes were probably 30 minutes.
So there wasn't a full hour-long episode. There was like
probably
50,
had less than 4 hours.
You could have made this. Could have been a movie. You could have done this in
so you could tell. Let's say you had 2 movies, right? 2 movies worth. You could do a part 1, part 2, compelling story. Like we've just seen like Mission Impossible. That's a 2-parter. That's like a 3-hour first part.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot happened in that movie.
Oh my God. So they could have got to the Harvest, Gravik, all that bullshit by like episode 3. And then the second half could have been dealing with that fallout. That would have been something. But
yeah, nothing just seems urgent.
No, there was no sense of urgency the entire time.
Even though it's the end of the world.
No sense of urgency. Okay.
It really should have been, you're right, Imran. It really should have been what they ended with.
Yeah, it should have started there.
Which was these Skrulls have been on Earth and now they're being hunted. And now Fury has to come back because it's partly his mess.
Maybe a couple of them have super Skrull powers and you got to deal with them. Not everybody, but that, I don't know. It could have been started there. Okay, maybe somebody liked it. Let's do some news from the nation. Find out what the listeners thought.
It's time for news from the nation.
It's time for news from the nation.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
That's a flapper. Okay.
It's because I'm sweaty.
Like I feel that. Jamie Robinson, Mr. Throwback Thursday from the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast, comments, spoilers, it sucked. He said, so I have just finished hate watching Secret Invasion. The final episode was the best, well, because it meant that it was over. I'd rather watch Thor: The Dark World and Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance as a double feature before watching this schlock again. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Blake Braden says, sucked. First episode, Skrulls are looking for a home. Last episode, Skrulls still looking for a home. Was there any progress made from episodes 1 through 6? If the goal was to make your main protagonist feel like the major villain, they did that, and that's all they did.
Well, very, very good points, my friend.
Wow. Okay, Jess Rivera just posted the It Stinks GIF from this guy.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
John Lovett's, creator, critic character. Hamad Akbar Khan says, good idea, pathetic execution. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. handled a similar story like this in a much better way. Ouch. I liked Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, that show had some highlights. John Campbell simply posted a poop GIF for his comments. Marcus Savita says, it really was bad. They ruined Nick Fury. Sam Jackson deserved a lot better. Ron Hans says the only good thing about this was that Bob Iger said they were going to slow down on Disney Plus Marvel content. They are doing nothing but watering down the brand. The shows were a good idea in theory, but the execution has been piss poor with these last few.
He's absolutely right. What they're doing is they're really like fucking the brand. Because
they're hurting the brand like DC does.
Because now they're making Marvel used to be appointment television.
Yeah.
Appointment in terms of the movies.
Yeah.
And now by doing this, the TV shows aren't appointment viewing, and then the TV shows are roping into the movies. So now the casual fan has to go back and look at the TV shows to understand what's happening in the movies, and no one is watching the fucking TV show. You're just fucking things right now.
Let's not forget, in 2 years, they put out fucking 18 things.
Well, think about it like this, too. Think about the next movie that's coming out. It's the Marvels.
Yeah.
It is a sequel to Captain Marvel.
Right.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
WandaVision.
Yeah.
This show, maybe. Secret Invasion.
Yes.
Miss Marvel.
Oh God, you're right.
I mean,
so if
what are you doing?
God.
Like it's you have to
Holy
watch
shit.
all of those things.
Yeah, if a person just coming into this, they'd have to watch WandaVision, Miss Marvel, all those
Secret
things.
Invasion.
Secret Invasion, Captain Marvel.
In the Avengers movies.
Fucking hell. Yeah, in like what was it, 2020, 2021, they put out combined, like I think it was like 50, 60 hours of content, 18 fucking things. And I'm all for more, but that's too much, and it's not good.
Miss Marvel and Secret Invasion are the two lowest watched things.
Yeah.
And they're big parts of this upcoming movie.
Yeah, I mean, her whole family's in that movie. Do they have to reset and explain all of this? It's going to be interesting. Okay, Jason Moomert, Dutch. Remember Dutch? He says, I'm torn as to when Rhodey was swapped. He's referencing 80s and 90s time travel movies and Endgame. He also can't walk after saying canopy, canopy, canopy. It had to be after Endgame. Yeah, you know what? I don't think Marvel knows when Rhodey was swapped. Like, I don't think they have an answer.
Yeah, they didn't.
They have no idea.
It's clear. No. They would have made it clear,
right?
If they really gave a shit.
They just want to fuck with us, and they did this on purpose. I'm convinced.
Well, they just don't know. They're just dumb.
Jose Ibarra has a great comment. He says, if my thoughts of this show had a sound, it would be the fart noises Rug Boy makes for News from the Nation. Not even a funny fart, though. The show was like risking a 50-50 fart in the middle of Costco. Basically, you don't know if you just shit your pants in public. What seemed like a good idea at the time becomes an uncomfortable ordeal. Ultimately, we can move on with unstained underwear and an ounce of dignity left, but it was not an enjoyable experience at all. That's this show. Wow.
Wow, he really reads into my life.
That's amazing. That's well said.
I feel like he knows me. Anyhow.
Well said. Robbie Spliff Dog Maze says, I'm a giant MCU fan who still likes some of the movies people don't love, but I do feel like most of the shows are underwhelming. My question to the group, is anybody feel like Born Again will be good after watching all this stuff?
No.
I know it's more episodes, but more episodes of what? They can't screw up Daredevil. You got fucking D'Onofrio.
Oh, just watch Marvel do it.
Charlie Cox, take him out of that ugly yellow costume, put him back in the red. Echo.
Oh yeah, just watch.
They
made that guy do the walk of shame.
Really, Daredevil does not do the walk of shame. How can it even compete with the darkness of the Netflix shows? I don't know. I'm 50-50 on this now. But look what they're doing. Even their longtime fucking fan base that will excuse almost anything is starting to have problems. Starting to get frustrated.
Even Imran.
Even me. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. What is I'm looking over at DC like, what are you guys doing? Come on.
Well, thanks for catching up, Imran.
Sorry, it took me a while. It just had to be hammered into my head and fucking.
See, if you hate everything, eventually everybody will hate stuff too.
Guardians 3.
That's how you be ahead of the game.
Guardians 3 was fun. That was a good thing they put out recently. I feel
sure
one of the better things.
Guardians 3 was good. I mean, there's still some stuff. It's just they're really screwing themselves with all this.
Yeah, so we got Loki season 2 in October, and then I don't know what if season 2 and all those other shows. But we'll see what if they even come out, what they're going to do. Okay, let's get into some. What are we watching? Rugs, where do you want to start? You saw Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning.
I did. Before I get into Dead Reckoning, I was listening to a great podcast, We Hate Movies, and they did Mission Impossible 2, John Woo. It fucking was hilarious. Great time listening to that. Some good tidbits on that. Evidently, there's like a 40 extra minutes that they cut out of that movie, and I want to see it.
Oh, God.
I want to see the Woo cut of Mission Impossible 2, because it is a great movie, but I want to know what the fuck they cut out.
More flipping and spinning.
I don't know, but I want to see all of it. I'm there for all of whatever fucking Tom Cruise is doing in that. The funny thing is that they pointed out that in the first Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise doesn't even fire a gun.
Oh, really?
Or do anything like that. He's doing strictly espionage. And then by the time John Woo steps in, it's like, yeah, we're going to just do like Hard Target with Tom Cruise.
All of a sudden he's doing spin kicks, he's flipping and shooting in
Don't
the
they
air.
have him just climbing a side of a cliff?
That's how it starts. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie. You know what? Everybody hates that movie, but I fucking love it because it's a John Woo movie and it's unapologetically a John Woo movie. And it's great. So I saw Dead Reckoning today.
Oh, shit. What'd you think?
I fucking loved it. I never say that.
Loved it.
I never say that line.
Oh,
That's
never
a Tony
say that.
line.
Wow.
But I was in the theater. I was
awesome?
grinning ear to ear. My pulse was racing. That last sequence on the train, I was like, oh shit. And like, there was just the music. When Tom Cruise gets into that run and they play that music, oh my God, I felt like blood flow in my dick. Like I was like loving it. So I love Mission Impossible. I love this whole franchise. I think that Tom Cruise, for a 60-year-old man, still can fucking bring home the bacon every time. And the story wasn't anything like crazy. It's like, it's a typical like
very topical
MacGuffin.
Topical though.
It's a MacGuffin, and there's like, it's topical, and it's MacGuffin play, but you feel like there's real stakes because now we starting to understand what AI is doing, and the story revolves around AI. But I'm fucking down for this. I like it.
Question number 1: where would you rank it? Is this the best? Better than Fallout?
Wait. I ranking. I just have to say this before I even go there. Haley Atwell is fucking looking hot as hell.
She's great. Oh my God. She's great. Yeah.
I don't know.
Great chemistry.
Like when she was what was she in the Marvel TV show?
Yeah,
she was Agent
Peggy
whatever.
Carter. Agent Carter.
Yeah. Yeah, she looked a little frumpy.
Well,
here she looks like a Bond girl.
I mean,
almost.
it was in the 40s also. They had to dress her like 40s, right? But yeah, great chemistry with Tom Cruise. Very sexy. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very nice acting. And it was coming off the screen. It was great. Now, ranking them, I don't know. I like them all. Like the one I like the least is number 3.
But that's got Philip Seymour Hoffman, who is so good as the bad guy.
Yes, he's great. But listen, they're all good. Yeah. That's the point. None of them suck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first one is a De Palma film.
Yeah.
It's got fucking Dutch angles. It's fucking got amazing cinematography. The silhouettes in that movie where it's like this nighttime scene and there's these black silhouettes because they're wearing dark coats. It's like so fucking amazing. It's like Hitchcock.
Yeah, it's like Hitchcock or Orson Welles or some shit, right?
Yeah. So like, but the first movie is not the same as like, then John Woo comes in and does the complete opposite, makes it a fucking Hong Kong action film. Yeah. And then all of a sudden the third one, they're like, all right, let's kind of freaking like, let's figure out what the fuck this is. Yeah. And then J.J. Abrams kind of makes this like boilerplate, like what you think of as a Mission Impossible movie, or like even like he took a little Bourne Identity, a little bit of fucking Casino Royale, rolled it all together, and then Brad Bird came in and he was okay. So like they're all good. I feel like the last few have been the most consistently good,
right?
So that like, when you're creating like a franchise that's consistent and you know what you're getting and you're getting that same level of excitement each time, I feel like that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. I mean,
because
it delivers exactly what it said it's going to deliver, right?
Oh yeah. And it does. I think the music,
practical effects, all that shit.
Yeah. I feel like that he was actually kind of trying to blend a little bit more of that, like De Palma.
Yeah, no, there was
callbacks.
Into it. There was a lot of Dutch angles in Dead Reckoning, callbacks to the first movie. Absolutely.
So, there's that train sequence. There was a train in the first one.
That's what it reminded me of.
And there was a little bit of that, like ducking under shit. Like in Speed.
Yeah, the Speed tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I fucking loved this movie. I think it was great. I was a good time. Yeah. It's not the best movie ever made, but I think that for this kind of movie, it's doing it at top tier.
And nobody else is doing this shit that he's doing, right? Nobody's jumping off
Casino
cliffs.
Royale is one of my other favorite fucking movies. Yeah. That James Bond movie is just fucking amazing. Yeah. I love it. It's so stylish and so great. But James Bond movies go all over the place. Like the next one is okay, and the next one's cartoony. The other one, then they start getting ridiculous and they make no sense. And so like this has been consistently good.
Absolutely.
It hasn't fall. It's gotten like it's hit its stride. And I think that they're going to go off into the sunset. Hopefully, if this next movie is bad, I'll be surprised.
Do you think they kill Ethan Hunt in the next one?
I don't know, but I mean, they got a couple of characters that could young people that I'm thinking maybe will get drafted into the IMF.
Well, what's her name?
That young dude seems to be like, I like him. He's kind of cool.
Haley Atwell's going to be. She's going to be.
Well, Haley's going to go in, but I think those other two dudes that were like working for the government that now like told Kittredge to go fuck himself.
Oh, those two guys. Yeah.
I think one of those two guys might be the next members.
And then the other question, Anthony, we forgot to discuss this in our review. Would this have made the 20th Century Action Movie Tournament? And if so, how far do you think it would have went? Like, should we have put this in instead of Rogue Nation? Should have been Fallout.
I like this better than Rogue Nation. I'll just
so it should have been maybe Fallout and Dead Reckoning would have been in.
I think Fallout's the better movie, but this Dead Reckoning, as we discussed, I had such a blast watching that movie. It was just everything Rugg said. Yeah. So I don't know how far it would have gone, but it's just such a fun, tense, thrilling movie. Yeah, I mean, I hope hopefully it makes it kind of struggling at the box office. Hopefully it makes enough money, but regardless, I think they're doing Dead Reckoning too, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you're sitting and listening to this podcast and you're like, wait for it, don't wait. Go see it on a big screen. Yeah. Bring your friends. Fucking go.
Well, it lost a lot of screens to Barbie and Oppenheimer is the other.
Doesn't matter.
But go see it.
It's still out there.
Yes, definitely should be seen in the theater. Okay. Anthony, you watch anything?
I've still been watching a lot of The Critical Drinker. I've been now watching his where he fixes things. So I found that to be very amusing. He's fixed Miss Marvel.
I'm gonna fix. And how do you fix these things? How does he fix these things?
Oh, you have to watch it. He talks about what he'd write instead. It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
And then I watched. I haven't watched any movies, but I watched Paul Ruebens on the Joe Rogan podcast. I sat down and watched a 3-hour podcast.
Who is that?
He's this guy that goes to the Amazons trying to conserve the Amazon and like will live there for long periods of time. And it was just really interesting learning about what the Amazon is and what's happening out there and all the freaking crazy animals that are in the Amazon. It was just an interesting watch.
How's Rogan's show? Still the same?
Still the same guy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Still out there talking to people about all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to be as high profile as before.
I'm sure he's still getting millions of downloads though. And
definitely. Yeah. But like,
I think because he's not on YouTube anymore.
Right,
so I mean, he's only doing the clips. So he limited himself to just Spotify. So I think there's not as much proliferation.
You watched it on the Spotify app on your computer.
On the TV, I streamed the app to my TV, and they have video on Spotify, so you can just watch him doing the pod. I can't. Great. If I'm at home, I can't just listen to a pod. I'll have to watch it, or I'm not going to listen.
Well, but that's
pods are meant for me in the car only. If I'm going to listen,
I mean, and the video aspect's nice, and it's a great way to just throw it up there and have it running.
Right,
you can check it out. Okay,
right.
Okay. I saw a couple of things, couple of fun things.
Couple two things.
I after John Bellatti's recommendation, I did catch Police Story 2.
Oh, I have to watch that.
With Jackie Chan. And then I believe the third movie is now going to be in our thing, right?
In our
Super Cop,
Decades tournament.
In our Decades tournament, which is Super Cop Police Story 3. But 2 is a lot of fun. There's a lot of great fucking fight scenes. There's a great scene in the playground. I think he mentioned he fights this like mute guy in the warehouse at the end, and it's great because the guy plays off like he's very like he's harmless and helpless, and then just fucking kicks Jackie Chan's ass. This guy's a fucking badass. Couple of good big explosions. I feel bad for his girlfriend May. She gets fucking the shit end of everything in all of these movies.
Yeah.
So there's more of that kind of humor with May and misunderstandings. And even the actress, I think, was that Maggie Chung plays May? She, the bloopers at the end, like, a lot of people got hit in the head. She had a fucking head wound where there was blood coming off at this one spot.
Wow.
People kept fucking knocking there's a lot of shots of people with fucking head wounds in this. But I like the first one better. I don't know. This one was fun, though. It picks up right where the first one ends with this Chew and them reprimanding him for what happened in the first movie.
Yeah, the reason why Super Cop is kind of like I like all the police stories is that it's got Michelle Yeoh's big like coming out party, Like, this is where, like, I mean, she was always in the scene, but this is like she was in a big movie with Jackie Chan side by side and doing her own stunts.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was pretty
Is that
crazy.
the best one, you think, out of all of them?
No, I don't think it's the best one, but I just think it's special because Michelle Yeoh's in it, and she actually steals a little bit of Jackie's thunder in this. So it's not as much of Jackie Chan. It's more both of them. Yeah,
that's my next take. Real quick, we weren't here when we reviewed the first movie. What are your thoughts on that one?
He wasn't here. We were here.
We were here? Oh, we were here.
What, Police Story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That thing is crazy. He's hanging off the fucking bus with an umbrella.
Yeah.
And that shit is crazy. I mean, that movie is nuts.
Yeah. That's great.
He's the mall where he fucking goes down the fucking thing and
burns his hands.
He burns his hands.
Fucking great.
Yeah, it's very memorable. Like, he was going for it, man. He was really like, didn't give a fuck. I think he fell like
he almost killed himself on the fucking stunt, falling from the fucking pole.
But that's like every movie he almost dies.
That's true.
Yeah, saying Jackie Chan almost killed himself is like saying the sun rose today. Like,
again,
he does.
He's doing it before fucking Tom Cruise. He was running like a badass.
Was that the one where they drove the car through the top of the buildings and everybody copies that shot too?
Yeah, where the cars go straight down through all the like shacks down the hill.
And that's all real. That shit is crazy. He's in the car. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Did you ever see the Jackie Chan movie Thunderbolt?
No.
There's no karate in that. There's maybe one fight scene in it. But it's him. He's a race car driver, and he gets fucked with by some like gang. And there's like a street race where he's like in a chase with a car that's fucking incredible.
Oh,
so it's not a karate movie.
Wow, but there's
it's
a good car chase scene. Actually,
it's not like a martial arts film. It's I always call it karate, even though it's not karate. It's martial arts film. It's not a martial arts film, more as a driving film, which is pretty crazy.
Wow. And he's done, I feel like he does some driving and stunt driving in his movies too.
Yes, he does.
All right. I'm excited to see the Super Cop. And then the other thing I checked out was on the Cock, the Twisted Metal show. Remember that was coming out?
I've heard good things about it.
So it's 10 episodes, half-hour episodes, a real easy watch. I watched the whole fucking show.
Oh,
I watched the whole season because I started it and I was like, I'm just going to keep going. This is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. It is violent. It's funny. It's irreverent. Doesn't take itself too seriously. Anthony Mackie actually pretty good at the comedy. You have Stephanie Beatrice, who's in that cop show. What's that show? Not 911. I forget what it's called. She's great, and the fucking clown Sweet Tooth. There's a comic book and a TV show called Sweet Tooth. They got a character in here, a psychotic dude who wears a clown mask called Sweet Tooth, right out of the game, driving a ice cream truck. He's fucking great, and it's kind of like if The Boys was like a half-hour violent comedy action show. Like, it was good. I had a good time. I got sucked in.
Oh shit!
Yeah. And I mean, it has, they gave him a very simple plot. He's a delivery man. He's got to drive from one side of the country to the other and back, and all this shit happens. Kind of like Mad Max Fury Road. But characters are good. A lot of great guest casts popping up here and there.
I've heard good things, so I might check it out.
Thomas Hayden Church, pretty good. Will Arnett played. He didn't play him. He voiced Sweet Tooth. The guy playing Sweet Tooth was huge. That's kidding.
Oh, wow.
Then Nev Campbell's in it. Chloe Fineman from Saturday Night Live. Good show, and quick, easy, fast watch.
You want to know one more thing I want to mention that I watched recently?
Yes.
And I'll mention because Godzilla is in it.
Okay.
One Crazy Summer with John Cusack and Demi Moore.
Oh, my God. When did that come out?
You ever watch that movie?
No. When?
You never seen this movie? It's a terrible movie.
1986.
Terrible 80s movie.
Oh, my God.
It's a terrible 80s movie where John Cusack is an artist, right? And he goes with his friend to Nantucket.
This. Yeah.
He goes with his friend to Nantucket for the summer, but to think about what he wants to do with his future, he has to come up with a theme for his college application or whatever, his thesis. It doesn't make any sense. Anyhow, so he gets embroiled in this whole thing with this rich family in Nantucket that wants to take over like this house that Demi Moore inherits. And so it's like a war of like, it's like him versus these rich people, and it all like, comes up to this. They have to do this like regatta, this race,
right?
So, and if they have to beat them at this regatta, if they do, they have like a bet, like they'll get all their shit that they want, and they leave them alone. So, anyway, the rich guy, he for some reason he builds this model of like this resort that he's going to build on the land he's going to take from Demi Moore.
Yeah,
and it's all these little buildings.
Yeah,
and Bobcat Goldthwait is in it.
Yes, Bobcat's the best.
And for some reason, outside of this occasion, there's a truck parked out that's a costume full of costumes, and he comes out in a Godzilla costume.
Okay.
And someone throws a cigar, and it lands inside the costume, and it starts making smoke coming out of his mouth. And so now he's on fire inside the suit, and he runs and he tramples over this model, and it's kind of funny.
I mean, it sounds like your typical Cusack 80s movie, right?
Yeah, it's terrible, and I watched it, and I enjoyed it. It made no sense. It was terribly written. Everything about this movie's stupid, and I still liked it.
They don't make movies like this anymore. It was the
Maybe
80s.
it was nostalgia, because it was terrible. But like, I watched the shit out of that movie.
It's a good, bad 80s movie. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I love those.
Yeah, those are always a good time. All right, that's it for this week, Ruggs. Where can the listener find you?
You can find me on X.
Dude, on my phone now, it just says X for the name of the app.
That's right.
Now. It's weird. And then there's just an X. What the fuck?
Yes. You can find me on X at Really Rug Boy.
Some weird porn site. X. We'll have the links. Although it still says Twitter, I think. Is it going to be x.com at some point? The URL is still Twitter. Whatever, Elon.
Yeah, fuck that bird. I like the X better.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing something
you
bad.
don't like the bird either. All right, fuck the bird.
I'll give you the bird.
Anyways, links, check out the show notes in the episode description, links to Rug Boy's Twitter and all our social media and all other fun stuff. Most important thing, listeners, share the show, spread it around to your friends. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We will peep you next time.
I really don't give a shit. This movie. Yeah. See?